So now you're doing LandWorX, you're doing the machine side of things, you can do it by yourself, and you can also bring in other dudes if you want to, and you can pay them a lot more rather than going through the laborers. Like, I had one customer who went through 33 employees in 1 year for the same position. And I was like, dude, you're probably not hiring right. Like, there's probably something wrong going on there. But at the end of the day, the market still kind of sucks. So it's like the market sucks and you're not doing something right, so something's not lining up.
Are you ready, Dad?
Yeah. Much happier, John?
90.5 degrees in the water.
Damn, dude. It's hot today. That's right. All right, so my buddy John was my first, when I sold my last lawn and landscape company, started doing Bobcat services for Landscape Bros. John was the first customer I ever had. At the time, he had a lawn and landscape business. And he was an awesome customer for like 2-3 years, and then he like had not issues with this business, but he just like lost love for it. And I was like, bro, sell this thing. He's like, oh, I don't think it's worth anything. Turns out I was right. He sold it for like little. Got himself his first boat, started doing charters. Now he's got himself into his secondary boat, which is the Sea Ray with twins, and he charges about $1,200 a day plus tip to do charters. You're probably better off to find a way to replace your human beings with machines. And that's just what it is, right? Because you're always going to have problems with machines, but you can manage against that. You can essentially hedge. You can use warranties, you can use agreements with dealerships, you can use multiple units. There's a couple different ways to handle those variables that you don't control with human beings. You can't control the fact that the guy goes out, drinks, gets hungover, gets broken up with his girlfriend, doesn't show up to work. You can't control that. Like, you just can't, right? Hits you in the face. Which, by the way, if a guy hits you in the face, make sure you should kick the shit out of him, because that's what I did. But either way, you don't have to do that. The amount of times that my machine has mouthed off to me, I mean, sometimes she's pissed me off, all right? Sometimes I'm like, hey, we're not getting along today. But for the most part, I don't have any issues with her. And if I do have more issues with her, I will just go to Bobcat and be like, get me out of this machine and get me into something that's not doing what this one's doing, right? And it's fixable. And with human beings, it's not necessarily fixable. Here's the truth of it is, your $12, $15 an hour employee, he doesn't give a shit about your values, bro. He just doesn't. He wants his paycheck and he wants to leave. Anyone getting paid less than $20 an hour doesn't give a fuck about your values, okay? They want their check and they want to go home. They're not there to change the world. You're not getting clean water to people who don't have water. You're not introducing electricity to children that never had electricity before. You're not doing anything important. You're just simply taking care of Betty Jo's mulch beds and then taking care of her emails when she calls you and says, well, my flowers died and my husband's an asshole, and so I'm going to take out all my anger on you. And then you show back up with your employees and you fix that shit. But in the mulcher side, right, or in the machine side or the LandWorX side, that ain't happening.